Hi everyone, Laura West here, owner of Divine Lotus Healing. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher and a spiritual counselor. I'm a psychic medium and a channel for the divine. I channel a group of light beings called the Council of Light, and I'm also an herbalist and I work with essential oils. So I'm based out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, but a lot of my work happens through distance work or international work with you as clients and class participants, and that happens over the internet. So today I'm coming to you from my office in Cambridge, and I would just like to apologize for the pixelation on this video. If you are seeing that the way I am seeing it, I don't know why my computer's doing that today, but it is the day that I have scheduled to record my work with you all and for you, so this is just how I'm going to roll with it. I am not going to stress or try and fix it or worry about it. This is just what it's doing. So I would like to kick off this new year, 2019, in grand fashion, as I have done in the past with the Council of Light. It feels like they might have some friends that come through, and I'd like to do a channel message for you. And for those of you who've been following my work for many years, you've been privy to the Council of Light channel messages before. I have about 10 years worth of channeled messages from this particular group of light beings on my blog. You can search for them. They're under channeled messages, the category, and you can go back and listen to them. Some of them are in reading blog form, some of them are in podcast form, some of them are in both forms. I've done a lot of different things over the years in this business. But for today, I'm changing things up just slightly because in addition to offering a channeled message, I would also like to start sharing some of my knowledge and integration awareness of essential oils and spiritual wellness. So I am now calling this the Spiritual Wellness Hour, and we're going to just do this every once in a while. I'm thinking maybe monthly. Perhaps it'll move to a weekly format. I'm not quite sure where this is going to go in this 2019 year, but we will just play with this and have fun in the beginning. So for now, I'm going to pause and I'm going to let the Council of Light come through. They would like to speak to you about some lovely concepts. So here we go. Greetings, dear ones. We are glad you are here. We are so happy to be here and be used in this vocal way through this voice box of this woman named Laura, we say, and we would like to participate in co-creating awareness of information for you, because some of you have been debating, and we see that it is time to navigate through and make some decisions and support yourselves as you move forward on this path of your journeys called your lives. First and foremost, we would like to take this time to share with you that there is not actually a concept called time. We bring this to your attention and your awareness as an institution of understanding because it is the time of year for you all on the earth plane as physical beings to say to yourselves, the time is now. Start new goals, reflect on last year, move forward into the future year with new zest, new zeal, new vitality, and new freshness. But we would like to tell you that in your soul form, when you are in your spiritual centered body of light vibration and not physical form, there is no time. It is always the now. It is always the past, and it is always the future, all three together, spinning in circles like a great ball of energy. And so we here in spirit form that have been tasked with helping humanity to grow, chuckle at this understanding that you all have there on the earth plane. And we would like to talk about why you have this there. If time does not exist and it has been a construct that you have co-created as physical humans, what's the purpose that it serves? Well, for you see, a very long time ago in your beginning stages of your humanity, as you were walking around on the earth plane as humans, you needed to be able to mark the passage of things for yourselves because a human life is a long life. Spirit time blinks by in the blink of an eye when 100 years passes for you in human form. So you needed to be able to mark the passage of all of your life events and remember them and celebrate them and honor them. And you created a calendar structure. You marked it off of your lunar and your solar functions, and you noticed that there were seasonal changes according to the patterns that happened on a regular cycle based on the lunar and the solar changes that were happening. Those were your rudimentary calendars. And then you brought forward an understanding of how to be in connection with a system and a structure and a routine and a ritual around keeping track of dates and organizing them into groups called months and years and so on and so on. This came later, of course, in your humanities span of time. And so now we sit here today listening to many, many, many of you on the earth plane as you talk about last year, quote unquote, and you talk about this year, quote unquote. It is a marker for yourselves to remember, to pause, to flush out, to support, to change your vibrations. And you say that it is time that is doing so. Last year you worked on X, Y, and Z. This year you will work on A, B, and C. And you take these two periods of time as separate from each other. But in all reality, in all truth, you as spiritual beings have existed in this spot here and now for eternity. And the place that you were yesterday and the place that you are tomorrow are already in existence. They are co-created realities. They are aspects of yourself that are always with you, and they will always be co-created. And some of it you remember and know about, which happened in your past. Some of it you do not understand yet, or you do not remember because it has been clouded, is as shadowed in your future. That is all we have to say about that on this matter, for it is just a small thing, and yet it is a big thing, because so many of you, including the woman whose voice box we come through now, have been talking about last year and your things you did last year and the things you focused on last year and this year and the things you will do this year and the things you will focus on this year. And we just chuckle in kind. So we wish to also explain to you who we are. For those of you who are new and who are listening to us for the first time, we would like to tell you that we are the Council of Light. We are a group of divine light beings that come from a far-off place in the solar system, universe, galaxy, think of it what you will. We come from God's source energy, from the angelic realm, from the spiritual-centered tribe. Think of us how you will. We are not human. We are not life form. We are energy, and we are light, and we are a vibration of consciousness that is love ever so tight. And we have been tasked with helping humanity grow on the earth plane as you move towards your own enlightenment, each one of you in your own way, in your own space, on your own path. And we come to you through the voice box of this woman here, and we have been sharing nuggets of wisdom with you ever so dear. Today we share with you these nuggets of wisdom about time, and over the course of time, no pun intended, we have shared much about many mystical things on the earth plane that you have had questions about. As we begin to move forward again with this woman and her voice box, we will move into a more structured format with you all, and we will come to you at regular intervals, for we had taken a pause for a while as we had been regularly coming through this woman, and then we paused our work with her for a while so she could restructure and reorganize and grow things in her business in a different way. And now we are back again, and we are here to say, hip hip hooray, let us celebrate, let us cheer. Let us move forward with grace and comfort and peace and joy. And let us support you in your work of entering into harmony with your own selves and into connection with the divine. If you are feeling like you are stressed, if you are feeling like you are sad, if you are feeling like you are depressed, if you are feeling like you are angry or mad, you are not in harmonic vibration with your spiritual centeredness. This is okay, and we do not wish to alarm you. We are not judging you, for in your human forms, you have a great gift called an ego, and your ego brings all kinds of emotional judgment and perception to your forefront. But we wish to very clearly tell you that if you are in any kind of discordant space with yourselves right now, you are not spiritually purely aligned. So, we would like to give you some suggestions moving forward so that you may be in your centeredness and in your grace and in your light all the days through, day and night. Number one, seek out support. Go to the people, the clinicians, the doctors, the practitioners, the wisdom sayers, the soothsayers, the Wiccan witches, the pagan priests, and the like. Go to the shamans, go to the yoga teachers, go to the sound healers and the therapists that will support you in finding your balance. We do not subscribe to any one particular path of healing. You will know what is right for you on the earth plane. Some of you will work through your isms and your stuckness with the woman whose voice box we come through now, and some of you will work with other practitioners, and all of this is okay. We do not tell you which person or how to work. You will find your own way. But our point is, start now. It is time for you to begin to live a path, live a life, live an experience on that earth plane of joy and of happiness, not of strife. Your soul came to the earth plane to experience the wonderment of what that earth's atmosphere has to offer. There is sight, and there is sound, and there is color, and there is scent, and there is physical touch that is of the most pleasing natures that abounds all around you on that earth plane. There are creative artists, and there are musicians, and there are body workers, and there are pleasure seekers and pleasure givers, food and sensual touch and the like that offer you so much joy and so much beautiful experience. Have you ever stopped as you are walking on the sidewalk to notice the colors around you? Have you ever stopped when you were out and about doing your errands to notice the nature around you? There are plants and flowers and trees and shrubs that are growing in that habitat near your presence that you have not noticed, and it is time to start noticing them. There is animal attention that is trying to call to you, and you either have just begun to notice or have not yet noticed. So we would like to bring this into your awareness, for all of this is part of connection with you, and all of this is part of a divine mystical experience that is called your life on the earth plane. You chose to go to the earth for many, many reasons, of which we will not get into here. If you would like to know specifics about your own lives, we suggest that you talk to the woman whose voice box we come through, for she is able to divine and connect and share with you that wisdom. But we will not get into it now because there are many, many thousands of you listening to us now, and we do not wish to take up the time with each of you in your own space. That would take forever. We say that in a judgment of time, and we make a small joke because remembering there is not any sense of time, and yet there is always the now. Let us get back onto the path of our conversation with you. We have diverted in a small joke, and now we wish to say that there is much abundance and joy that is to be had on that earth plane. Take a micro joy today for yourselves, whether it is a cup of tea, or a kind smile from a stranger passing by on the sidewalk, or a penny found on the ground, or a beautiful sunset that is acknowledged, or a sound of a beautiful song, or a chirping of a harmonious bird, or a hug from one of your children, or one of your lovers, or somebody at work who is genuinely concerned about you. There is so much joy around you on that earth plane, and in a micro moment, it is time to acknowledge each of those tiny little joys. As you begin to notice those joys in these micro moments that we speak of now, there will be more. We just illustrate a few for you as example. What you begin to create is a harmoniously joyful life that has connected joyful dots running all the way through. Yes, there is hardship. Yes, there is strife. Yes, there is always going to be sadness in your life at different points. We do not wish to erase that from you. We do not wish to take away any of the validity of any pain and suffering and sorrow those of you who have experienced. We just wish to say you don't need to remain stuck there. You don't need to remain in strife. You don't need to remain in the pain and in the sorrow, wallowing for the rest of your life. It is okay to seek forward. It is okay to seek better. It is okay to seek more light, positive vibration through joy. through connection and support with people around you who are willing to be your helper, a clinician or a therapist or a manual therapist or a shaman healer of some kind, like we mentioned in the beginning. Only you will know what is right for you. So let's practice an exercise now. Even if you are not stuck in sorrow and pain, like we have been referencing, if you are of a supported, wonderfully positive nature, let's have all of you begin now. Sit up tall in your chair, or on your seat, or in your bed, or on the floor. Spine erect and feet relaxed, either tucked up underneath you in a cross-legged position or flat upon the ground. Breathe into the center of your belly. Exhale completely. Breathe in again to the center of your belly and become aware of your heart center as you do so. Exhale completely. Do this again and notice your heart as it fills with a certain color. Exhale. Go back to breathing as normal now and keep that color floating in your heart. It could be whatever color you wish it to be. Notice the emotional feeling or the physical feeling you experience along with this color in your heart. Feel how it swirls and churns and moves and gently shifts around the energies of your heart. We are not speaking of your physical heart, mind you. We are speaking of your heart center in the middle of your chest. And notice this for yourselves now as it begins to grow, as it begins to blossom, as it begins to move into a harmonious state of being. Feel how this space, this energy, this light color begins to move out from your heart, up through your chest and down through your arms and shoulders and into your hands and your fingertips. Feel how this color, this vibration, this emotion, this feeling, this sensation moves down through into your stomach. It begins to fill every fiber of your being, up through your neck and shoulders into your whole head space, filling your entire cavity, including your brain and skull. Filling now your hips and down into each of your legs, down through into your toes, completely engulfing you in a beautifully light vibration of color and emotion and sensation. Allow this to wash through every neuron, every fiber, every cell, every network, every connective tissue, every organ, every tiny little bit of you. Whatever color has come to you is here to realign you. It is here to purify you. It is here to heal you. It is here to uplift you. It is here to propel you forward in a great space of joy. Allow this to do so right now, in this moment, feeling free, feeling light, feeling happy, feeling pure, feeling clear, feeling bright. And rest in this space, floating in this harmonic energy of color and emotion and vibration. Did you know that it is your divine right to always be happy and to live from a place of abundance? In order to believe this to be true for yourselves, you must begin to change your physical structure, your emotional structure, your psychological structure, and your spiritual, mental, etheric body structure. And by doing exercises like we are doing now, having you float here in this physical being, wrapped in this lovely light energy of color and vibration, you are starting to do so. And so we invite you to continue to hang out in this space, or if you're ready, to begin to draw this color back in. Draw it down from your eyes, from your head, from your neck and shoulders, from your arms. Draw it up from your feet, through your legs, through your hips, into your stomach. Draw everything back into your chest cavity, holding it in your heart. You are not locking it away. You are holding it there to be played with on another day. You may take this color out and you may breathe it through your entire being and feel the vibration of alignment as it begins to take shape within yourselves. And then breathe it back out so that you can touch base with this new state of being, emotional effervescence, if you will. And so that is all we have to share with you today in a lovely, harmonious, glorious, joyful, bright, and blessed way. Thank you for listening to us, and we are going to turn off our microphone and allow the microphone of the woman whose voice box we are coming through to work with you once again. And we will say goodbye for now, and we will come back another time to speak with you at large. Namaste. Oh, thank you so much for listening to them with me. That's such a joy for me to bring them through. I always feel so uplifted when I listen to the Council of Light. And, excuse me, they have told me that they're going to bring through other people or other beings, other spiritual presence in the future, and they're going to commingle with us. So I look forward to being introduced to other spiritual beings. So what else do I want to share with you today in this spiritual wellness hour? Well, as you know, I work with essential oils, and I'm just going to start to riff on this with you. I have nothing particular on the agenda that I wanted to share with you today, except that maybe I'll share my story of my flow. That's my word that's coming to me as I start this new year. And yes, I understand that the Council of Light have said there's no time, so it's kind of funny. They're chiding me. I wrote this big blog post, or no, excuse me, it was on Instagram and Facebook. I wrote this big long post about time and how I thought of last year and how I'm moving into this year and the flow that I'm in. And I would really like to acknowledge that sometimes you know yourselves to be in flow. You feel it for yourselves. Everything is running well. Things are optimal. You're feeling really harmonious. You're happy. You're healthy. And sometimes you're not in flow. Sometimes you're sick, or you're angry, or you're upset, or there's trauma or pain or suffering or sorrow. We need both. We have to have that yin and yang balance. We need the light and the dark to balance each other out, right? When you're not in flow, it's okay. But it's not okay to remain there forever. So every once in a while, you need to pause. And I talked in my post about flow, about last year being an incredible experience for me. I birthed a new part of my work. I call it the work baby. I birthed a new work baby. I opened the essential oils part of my business in a very different, very big, very systemic way. And it was a huge chunk of work to go through. But I've birthed it, and now it is flowing. And I am now taking some time for myself on a personal level to go back into mentorship and to go back into relationship with others around me who can counsel me or coach me or mentor me and guide me into this new year in a new and gentle energy. I am feeling that call for myself on a professional and a personal level. And I invite you all, as you're moving forward into this year for yourselves, to think about what is it you need to be able to set yourselves up for success. Do you need to practice more yoga? Do you need to eat a different kind of diet? Do you need to be healthier emotionally and not have so many toxic emotions running through your bodies? Do you need to align with your spiritual centeredness with some kind of new practice, chanting or meditation or prayer? Think about that for yourselves and find some kind of outlet that is going to support you in achieving that goal. Maybe you need to come to a session with a healing practitioner like myself. Maybe you need to start receiving regular massage. Maybe you need to go to an ashram and do some participation in meditative chanting prayer kind of work. You'll know what's right for you. But give yourself the value of honoring that and work through that so that you can feel the blessings of that for yourselves. You owe it to yourself. You're worthy enough. And if you don't feel like you are, hear it from somebody else on the earth plane saying, you are worthy. You deserve to be in that space of joy. You deserve to be in that space of light. The Council of Light reminded us that you deserve abundance. That's your divine right. And you deserve joy. That's also your divine right. So if you're not in abundance and you're not in joy, you need some support because you have some work to do. One thing I always share with my clients all the time in this practice, I've been doing this for about a decade, and one thing I always share with them is that I have always listened to the yes of this practice. I did not set out to be this kind of practitioner. I did not set out to do this kind of work. I had another whole line of work entirely that I was doing in my life. And this took me by surprise. And it has been wildly successful for me because I have listened to all the yeses and I have sought out all the things that have brought me happiness. And I have listened and trusted the divine as it's come through my life. And that has brought me a path of success. And I wish that for you too. One thing that I'm thinking about right now is my diffuser. As you know, I work with essential oils. Those of you who are working with them with me, you understand this. They're really powerful emotion shifters. Today in the essential oil diffuser, I have the oil of peace and the oil of balance going. They are just flowing through this office space. So all the clients who are coming through are receiving that peaceful vibe and that balance vibe. We're a really busy society and we need to feel balanced and we need to feel joy. So I thought I would put those two in there together. Peace is a really wonderful oil for you to be using if you are experiencing any kind of emotional turmoil or strife. It grounds you, it supports you, it holds you, it gives you peace, basically. It is fabulous for adults and for children alike. I have had lots of experiences with my then toddler, he's now a little bit older, child who in his toddler years would have temper tantrums, and I would break out the peace roller and I would roll it on his skin and it would help him to shift his emotional state of being into a state of more harmony or less tantrum, I'll say that, so that he could begin to process and be more conscious with himself. And the balance oil is a fabulous blend. It is something that I use every day on a medicinal level. I put it on my body, I put it on my heart, and I put it on my pulse points. And it helps to ground. It's the grounding oil. It helps you to feel like you have control. It helps you to feel like you are centered. And we all need a little bit of that. So I actually use this as sort of one of my vitamins. It's not a vitamin, it's an essential oil, but I think of it like a vitamin protocol. I need to feel centered and grounded and balanced if I'm able to have a healthy, successful, happy day. And I have a lot of spiritual practices that I do in my life that help me along the way. But this is one of them that I like to start the day with. So when I'm doing my morning meditation, I will use the balance oil. And I will oftentimes reapply it throughout the day because I love the smell of it. I wear it sort of like a perfume. And it just helps me to feel cozy and wrapped up in a warm hug for myself. So I encourage you in this new year to start those micro routines for yourselves. What is it you need to be doing on some sort of tiny level that helps to support you and makes you feel grounded, makes you feel healthy, makes you feel happy? If you haven't already started working with essential oils, you can do so through my website. There's a link under one of the tabs called Essential Oils, and I teach all kinds of classes. And if you live far away, I'll teach over the internet with you. If you're in the Cambridge, Boston metro area, come to one of my classes on Monday nights. I teach right here in this room. And we can get you started. Oils help psychologically, mentally, physically, and emotionally with our wellness care, and they're really powerful. I use them in my client practice with my clients all the time. We shift with them, and it just is so lovely as they're getting ready to do their energy healing work or their spiritual counseling work. That's all I have to share for now. Thank you so much for being a part of this day with me. Oh, look at that. See? Perfect timing. Just turned off. That's our sign to go. That kind of divine timing happens all the time in my life. So I listen to those signs and I say thank you for this, sharing this space with me and co-creating with me. And I look forward to coming to you again another time. Be well and namaste.